How is that good luck for the drummer?
His arm, you know.
Well, he didn't die. I guess that is pretty good luck. The nurse
could tell this story to one of the dicklickers.
Uh-huh.
An operation to reattach the arm failed when it became infected, but Alan barely missed a beat. When the rest of the band nervously visited him in the hospital, he immediately launched into his plans for playing one-armed. This poor kid must be.
Let me guess.
So
it went something like this. The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. The drummer from that's
pretty
Bloodhound. Bloodhound.
An incurable catastrophe. An unrepentant shit disturber. I was the kid you did not want in your class. You know, the one who couldn't sit still, couldn't do the drill, didn't fit the bill, never would, never will, until I got the chill pill. Ritalin. Now we're fitting in, paying attention, listening better than it's been. Let's not pretend it's a solution. It's not. Just the best we got because the system shot. Having attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is like living inside a violently disobedient clock. Seconds slowing into forever. Then jumping into overdrive. Warp 8, warp 9, warp 10. Mr. Scott, I need more. Aye, Captain, but I'm afraid she'll blow. Having ADHD is like being an exclamation mark in a world of commas. It's telling the cop, go yourself, because the dial on my rage diminisher is malfunctioning. It's tuning out my wife who's sitting right in front of me because the fly on the ceiling is walking backwards, and I forgot to call my mom, who was a terrible cook, but I didn't care. I ate so fast food barely touched my taste buds. I don't know why they call them buds anyway. It's not like they become flowers or friends or beer. I remember the first time I took Ritalin. My mental merry-go-round began to slow down, and everyone suddenly started speaking human. But by then, I found my own ways to cope. I went to 5 different high schools, failed every class except gym, drama, and dope smoking. Math was like studying advanced theoretical Klingon, like bungee jumping off the back of a pickup truck. I still don't speak numbers. My adolescent mind was a paper plane in the palm of a hurricane. And ultimately, the only thing school ever taught me was that I wasn't good enough to make the grade. I know my attention fluctuates, but when love calls my name, I focus like the Hubble. I can see God's fingerprints on every flower petal. I remember the cut, color, and texture of that dress you wore the day we met, the saline sweetness of your sweat, and every switchback curve in your beautiful smile. You say living with me is like having a Swedish death metal band in the basement and a drunk kangaroo in the bedroom. But although I can't sit still for more than 3 minutes, I still see forever in your eyes. And though sometimes I don't pay attention, I know exactly how much this love is worth. The world disdains the distracted mind. They prefer us focused on our flat screens, too terrified to imagine a world without drones, war zones, or corporate prisons. But my mind is full of visions so breathtakingly beautiful. My God, I wish you could see them too. I may never be normal. But what is normal in a world of infinite variety? And in the quiet backwaters of my mind, I know I am not damaged. Just fucked up. And isn't being different the one thing we all have in common?
Welcome, motherfuckers, to another edition of ADHD Radio. My name is Video Vamp, and joining me, not even close to in the studios, would be Johnny Gators.
Why was the fly walking backwards?
Because he's ADD as fuck. That's all.
I didn't catch the rest of that, but the fly was walking backwards on the ceiling, and I just can't seem to get past that.
Why? What's wrong with flies walking backwards? For all you know, a fly can moonwalk.
No, for all I know, a fly can fly right in my face up until the point I stand up and get a fly swatter, and then it flies every place else. And then as soon as I sit down and settle in to watch TV, because it's gone now, it comes back to right in front of my face. I don't ever see a moonwalking. If they just go moonwalk over there, that'd be fine.
But okay. I mean, I suppose that makes kind of sense in like a kind of way. Gators, why do I see chroma key noise on your feed?
Well, because my couch is green.
I see, and the shot is. Oh, I love that little XSplit watermark you've got going there. Nothing says class like an XSplit watermark, let me tell you.
No. This is my XSplit branded mixing board that you're looking at here. This is what you're looking at.
Well, class like that clearly has to be watermarked.
No, it's not a watermark. It's the decal on the mixing board.
Oh, it's the decal on the mixing board. I see.
Right. It's an XSplit mixing board. That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
I didn't know they made hardware, but I suppose they're working in new arenas. I don't know what to say about that.
Details, minor details.
See, for just a second, I thought, you know, Gators finally did something with that god-awful couch.
Yeah,
he put a cover on it, and then I thought, wait a minute, no, he didn't. It's actually the same thing.
I googled ugly couch pattern, and this is what came up. The
funny part is, I'm pretty sure you're dead serious.
Yes, I absolutely am.
Oh, wow.
I have multiple ugly couch patterns to bring up to turn this into various types of ugly couches.
Well, I'll pull up the web browser, and you can regale my listeners, or whatever's left of them, with what other ugly couch patterns you've found. And for fuck's sake,
they're all Googling flies walking backwards is what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, right. And you know, I've never used XSplit because I think it's hard enough to get audio software to do what it's supposed to do. But I can tell you, at least for a hardware switcher, your upstream key, you simply need to turn down your key.
Well, if I turn it down, then the couch starts looking green again.
Well, then you need better lighting, Gators. Chroma keys aren't magic.
I got a light bulb in the fixture there. Well, it's not a true green screen couch. I mean, here's what I could do. I could go over here and I could let's see if I start doing let's see. Oh, that does that, and that does that, and
there you go. That looks
there we go.
That looks slightly less shitty.
Yeah, but my couch looks a little washed out.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah,
it is a little washed out, Gators. Like, I hate to admit it, but it kind of is.
Well, we'll just say that's an old couch.
Did you go out of your way to make said couch be that way?
No, I went on to Craigslist and I found the cheapest futon money can buy, and it had a well-worn, well-used red futon cover on it. So I went to Amazon.com to take a look for the cheapest futon cover money could buy, and it came in a variety of colors. And one of the colors was called lime green, but I took one look at that and I said, "That's green screen green. That'll work." And so I bought that. It was kind of an accident.
A happy accident.
I didn't go looking for a green screen futon cover. I just happened to find one when I was looking for a cheap futon cover. And I decided that's a great idea.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you meant to do that. You didn't just happen upon a futon that you couldn't help but buy despite the awful color.
I meant to buy a futon. I went looking for a cheap cover, and then I found the green screen one, and I was like, "Hey, that's a great idea." I didn't think of the idea until I saw the cover.
Oh, so the cover inspired the great / questionable idea.
Right.
Okay.
And I found that XSplit, like much software, is pretty mediocre, but has one good feature.
Which is?
And the one good, which is that you can share your video feed as a webcam. So it makes it real easy to send your video from there to something else.
Okay. I mean,
because Skype doesn't have a green screen effect, but XSplit does, and then I select XSplit as my video webcam in Skype.
may I just say that to whoever develops and maintains Skype, thank you for not having a green screen, because mere mortals shouldn't be allowed to do it unless they want to do it in a way that is bad. Like, if you're going to do green screen, you have to do it really well.
I may have to correct that, though, because this time when I went to select my webcam in Skype, it gave me that option to blur the background, and it has an option to upload a file, so it has that,
Oh, no, they added it!
They added the green screen that doesn't require a green screen.
Right, okay, so that's a difference key, where basically it's going to say, all right, move your ass out of the frame. Okay, you better not have a desk chair where, like, the chair is going to swing.
Well, they do it now without requiring you to do that. You just turn it on, and all of a sudden everything turns blurry except for you. And this is why, now that everyone's working from home, the office meetings have now turned into an environment where everyone can try to outdo everyone with what type of beach scenery they're putting behind them. And of course, my favorite is the person that takes a picture of what their seat in their cubicle at the office looks like to make it like, see, I'm still in the office. I never went home.
Oh, wow. Okay. You are making me so much happier that I don't have coworkers right now. Like, in this very moment, I am so delighted that this munted shit show of a waste of time that has become virtual meetings is no longer a thing.
See, those of us that hate people, this whole staying home and not going out thing is working out peachy keen.
Gators, why do you hate people? What if
Have you
people,
met them?
Yes, I've met people. They're just fine.
I'm just kidding.
God damn.
I like some people. You're borderline.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I have a foot in each, like, corner. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just messing with you.
I'm straddling the fence. No, I mean, I've heard this before. People that are insanely introverted are trying to play this off like, well, that also means I don't need human contact. Bullshit. What else are you going to lament about? Like, yeah, no, I don't believe that for a goddamn minute.
Well, there's always Twitter.
Well, yes. Oh God, yes. Okay. Which brings me to my very first piece of last minute content. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so Merriam-Webster came out. Do you listen to Morning Edition? You probably don't. You're a wait, don't tell me you're nothing guy.
I mean, I listen to whatever happens to be on NPR during like the 10-minute drive from my driveway to the grocery store. So
do you go to the grocery store every day?
Well, no, not every day, but once a week. That's how often I listen to a little bit of NPR.
Okay. So did you go grocery shopping yesterday?
No, I went last week. I'll probably go tomorrow for this week.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, I will call. Why is that not doing its thing? Let me be sure I've got the right freaking cue here. Oh, that's why. That's right. It's 4. My old habits are messing with me because I'm used to switching to Kevin's monitor, and that's that.
Wait, are we allowed to bring porn up?
Yes, Gators. You go with your granny porn. You just go the fuck to town.
Well, if you bring up Kevin's monitor, you're bound to see.
Oh, that
porn
entire iMac has to be like disinfected at least once a month. I'm serious. You really should see the shit that that we end up searching for.
We don't want to.
Well, yeah, but that's the great thing is like you kind of have to. Like it kind of works that way. So let me shrink you down.
Okay.
And here we go. Okay, so apparently Merriam-Webster decided that the word irregardless is a word.
And it's different from regardless how?
It's not.
I mean, it is a word because people use it. And if people use it, that's what determines whether or not something's a word, right?
Well, of course you're correct. Now,
it's just redundant.
Well, the fun part about this is like the counterpoint that they were doing was essentially, and, you know, much to the dismay of a whole bunch of angry English teachers. And man, if I taught 8th grade English, I would be fucking furious too. Because
well, you still have not come to terms with addicting being a word.
Addicting is a phrase that people use.
Which means it's a word.
Which means it's in the dictionary. And if you choose to use a terrible word with no justifiable
Who are
presence,
you to judge a word, you know?
See, look, Gators, I'm all for inventing words.
All words matter.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there. I need a news crawler at the bottom of this thing. Johnny Gators says all words matter. Okay. I don't
just words.
That's
We're
fine,
only talking
Gators.
about words.
I don't define words by whether or not they're in the dictionary. And if you do, get the fuck out of, what is it, Parcheesi or Scrabble? That's right, Scrabble.
Right.
Get the fuck out of Scrabble.
Irregardless, where were you going with this Merriam-Webster's thing?
Well, that was my point. My point was simply that there are words that, or there are syllables that people say that sound terrible. And if they're okay with that, let them.
Okay.
That was my point, Gators. That was all. That was
okay. All right.
That was the extent of it. I mean, I'm sure over the course of the week, like, you know, you're watching stuff, you're doing stuff, and you're thinking to yourself, like, you know, I should probably mention that on the show this week. Or not. But
that's about once or twice a year.
Ah, okay. And the rest of the time you just let your co-host drone on?
Well, actually, I brought a topic to my show yesterday, which was a nice change of pace. Have you heard about the Heinz ice cream flavors?
Oh, God. Really?
Really? Apparently, they're god awful.
Imagine that. Boy, that really surprises me, Gators.
I mean, we read a review. Now, the reviewer only got 3 of the available flavors: the barbecue sauce one, the salad cream one, and the ketchup sorbet. And so I said to Brian, my co-host, well, for science, we have to try one of the other flavors that wasn't reviewed on here, because maybe that was the good one. And they put the recipe right up on the webpage. So you just go down the store.
Wait, so this isn't actually a product?
Well, it is a product. But it's not. Here's the weird thing, because I thought it was a product that you actually could buy off the shelf, but no, it's a kit you can order, and also it's available in England. So sorry, those of us here, I guess we could pay, across the pond.
Some value-added tax? Yeah, no.
But what you get is a bottle of the condiment that is used to make the recipe, a ice cream scoop and a spoon, and a tub that has like the Heinz branding on it for the type of ice cream it is, and the recipe card. And you have to provide your own like milk and cream and stuff, and actually
so you're
mix
actually
it up
making
with
the
sauce.
ice cream.
Yeah, but they did make some batches to send out to reviewers, and I've not seen a single positive review come out of this campaign. So that has been money well spent by Heinz.
I just love the idea that influencers are having to, you know, because they're so important, put that shit in their mouths and then make a face. Like,
yeah,
this is somehow like the glitter of YouTube stardom is somehow diminished by the idea that, well, mom and dad, I don't need to go to college. I'm just gonna like get so important on YouTube that Heinz will send me something that will make me want to yak on camera too.
So I told Brian, for science, we have to review the flavors that haven't been reviewed yet. So I gave him the option. We could either do the mayo chup or we could do the mayonnaise.
God, mayo chup. I forgot all about mayo chup. Wait, so their brilliant idea with respect to mayo chup was it didn't work, the mayonnaise ketchup hybrid, so let's make it ice cream.
I'm not seeing this whole it didn't work thing, because there are bottles of it still on the shelves to this day.
That's exactly my point, Gators.
And if you buy a bottle, you can use that to make yourself a nice batch of ice creams. And Brian would have nothing to do with this. So I'm debating whether or not I make a batch of this ice cream by myself, because I feel like, what's the point if my co-hosts won't join me on the fun?
Right. And by the fun, you mean a way to puke on camera that you have yet to do.
Well, what I've noticed is that the Heinz recipes are not that great. I think I can improve on them. I mean, because the best ice cream for a home ice cream is a more custard-based ice cream that uses egg, because otherwise it kind of freezes and dries out in the freezer. So I think if I tweak the recipe to be a custard-based ice cream recipe, it would have a nicer texture. It would still taste like mayo chup, but it would have a nicer texture.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but the motherfucker fucked up ketchup 56 times before he got Heinz 57. Okay. So let's
and you got everything you did right on the first try.
No, Gators, but I usually called it quits. I usually called it quits before 60. Like I didn't have to do long distance uphill running to realize that although I'm a lanky bastard, I'm not built to run. Like I don't run very well.
Tell me you don't like Heinz ketchup, though.
I don't like Heinz ketchup, Gators. I've never liked ketchup.
Oh, you don't like ketchup. See, that's different.
Oh, no, it's not. That's a distinction without a difference. You're telling me if somebody else made fucking ketchup that I would be like, wow, that's magnificent. Or somebody else made ketchup ice cream, that would somehow make the notion somewhat less disgusting?
For you, we might have to go with the ketchup sorbet because that's a vegan recipe.
Oh, boy. I'm not even going to fall in that trap.
Are you just vegetarian?
No, Gators. I hate sorbet.
You hate sorbet?
Yeah, I'm going to go with I hate sorbet.
Okay, well, if you hate ketchup and you hate sorbet, do those cancel out then? And does that make a ketchup sorbet better?
Why don't I just get a spoon and eat spoonfuls of air, and we'll just test that little theory of yours?
Okay. You know what, though? We're missing the obvious joke here, because obviously, if we're going to make you a batch of ice cream, it's got to be the salad creams.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I'm just going to leave that right there.
I knew you were touching the mouse to pull up your fucking soundboard.
No, that would be too easy. I'm going to close that. Like, you're already hearing it in your head.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely why it would be important.
I zap that sound right into your head so I don't have to play it.
That's why it would be in poor taste, because I can hear it. Look, audience, I'm listening to it right now. So that you don't have to. You're welcome. I will take this one for the team. I suppose I should pull up the chat, although
Yeah, is anyone writing in?
I don't know. Let me see. One of the nice things about Restream is that the chat is completely unified. So although we may be live on everything and its fucking brother, let me see if I'm looking for the full list here. It is not a small list. YouTube events, Twitch, Facebook, FC2, Periscope, DLive, Stream Now, and Mixer were not. In fact, they are straight up not allowing because they claim that we displayed pornography. P.S. If we did, I am unaware of it. I do, however, support it, because if they're not going to let us on anyway... Then
that's what happens when you bring up Kevin's screen, is you get blocked for porn.
As far as I'm concerned, fuck them. If they if they think that pornography is the worst part about this show, they clearly, their AI sucks.
I think the mayonnaise ice cream is the worst part of the show so far.
The very notion of mayo chup is enough to make me lose it. No.
Well, there's nothing wrong with mayo chup. It just didn't need to be pre-mixed.
Gators, everything is wrong with mayo chup. There's no part that's okay about it.
Okay. Do you ever go to McDonald's?
No.
Oh, you ever go to Burger King?
No.
Oh, okay.
Keep
all right.
going, Gators. I haven't had fast food and I don't even know how long.
Okay. The point is the concept of mayonnaise and ketchup as dual condiments on the same sandwich is not that foreign a concept.
No, not at all.
So what's wrong with just bottling it like that? You know what that used to be called? That used to be called Russian salad dressing.
Is that like a dig on communism or just like,
No,
are you
that's just
calling
what it's
Russian people
called.
poor?
No, that's Russian salad dressing. If you add relish, it's Thousand Island.
I see.
That's just science. They didn't teach you this in science class?
In science class, Gators. No,
Yeah,
I guess.
you know when you got your elements and you combine them. You take, an atom of ketchup and an atom of mayonnaise, and you get a molecule of Russian salad dressing. That's chemistry right there.
Those jars in the grocery store that, despite COVID, always seem to be very well stocked, where they take the peanut butter and the jelly and they put them in one freaking jar. I think this doesn't work very well in general.
That's a good shortcut, actually. But I tend to just have peanut butter and not jelly on my sandwiches. But that's okay. Any chat coming in?
Nothing. Nope, people are not at all interested.
No one has anything to say about any of this.
Oh, I take this. Okay. Dune says, could be they're going off air this month anyway. Oh, man, I missed the beginning of the chat. So I have no idea what Dune is digging us for.
What? We'll have to ask him to call in.
Hey, Dune, call in.
Yeah. Who's going off the air this month?
Oh, it's probably like the NHB stream or something.
I'm amazed it lasted this long.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, I hope it stays up. I think.
I do too. I just think that there's somewhere tucked away in a corner. My theory is Rico added an addition onto the house and accidentally walled the server into a wall, and now he can't turn it off. That's my theory for why it's still turned on.
Dune is clarifying. He's saying that Mixer is going off air this month.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Fuck them. Their AI is terrible. Like, downright awful. Pornography. I mean, unless Kevin pulled a Fight Club, which, well, he would actually have to do some pre-production in order to pull that off. And spliced a single frame of pornography into his screen during the show. There's pornography is not a thing. We don't. Come on, pornography.
We all know Merriam and Webster were quite the hoes back in the day.
Let me just tell you, they were fucking sluts.
Speaking of porn, have you seen the one about the cream of wheat guy?
Oh God.
I take it you haven't.
No, Gators. You want to get?
You have fun Googling that later.
Do you want to get me kicked off of yet another platform? Is that what you're after? Are you trying to sabotage one of the last shows that is still on this goddamn network?
Okay, never mind the cream of wheat guy.
Okay, no, let's back up here. Why the fuck did you decide, you know what? I am on YouPorn, right? And
no, I was on Twitter.
Oh, okay. On YouTweet, and you decide, cream of wheat guy. I think I should waste some time on that. A link that says cream of wheat guy.
No, it was one of these things where I was flipping through different tweets, and somehow a tweet thread devolved into a discussion about messed up porns, and someone posted a picture of this cream of wheat box with part of it cut away, and the guy with the chef hat standing in the box and receiving head through a second cutout lower on the box, and that picture led me to go, what the and I Googled, and sure enough it really was a thing, and then I watched the video.
It really was a porn?
Yeah, well, it's a scene from a porn.
Okay.
The premise of the porn being that they're doing some scientific experiments on this girl that they induced into a dream state to try to, make her dreams get more fucked up by inducing electric shocks. And this is the start of the fucked up dream sequence where she's in the kitchen making some cream of wheat, and the cream of wheat guy shows up with the big box around him to get it on. And there were dancing slices of Wonder Bread in the background for no reason.
Gators, I have a great idea. You know what? I think I'm gonna pose this to you like people pose shit to me. I have an idea for an app that I think you should do.
Okay.
Like that matters at all. Your brilliant idea, look, anyone who's had a brilliant idea for an app, fuck it. Your idea is worthless. Oh, Dune wants in on this action.
What the actual fuck? I mean, really?
I don't know. What the actual fuck? Turn on your webcam, Dune.
Is Gators actually with us?
Oh yeah, he's here. Oh wait, did I not merge it?
I don't think so.
Son of a bitch.
You suck at merge.
I do.
I'll hang up and call back.
All right. God damn it. Oh wait. Hey Gators.
Hey, what's up?
Apparently I don't know how to merge a Skype call despite the massive merge button.
Sometimes Skype has a merge button, and sometimes it's a best.
There we go.
He is. There he is.
There we go. We are now all here.
Yeah. So all right. Dune, you said what the actual fuck?
I did.
Okay.
You're talking about cream of wheat stuff, which is just terrifying.
We covered this weeks ago. Were you not? You see, this is what happens when you tune out early.
Yeah, clearly he missed.
Is the cam actually working? I don't know if the cam's working or not.
No, I don't see you.
Oh, I turned it on. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. That's okay. We will make do with half a Gators. So like. There's
the cream of wheat guy.
Oh my God, Gators! I don't care.
I told you. All right, that's enough of that.
You're gonna get me kicked off of something else. I mean,
it's okay. You only saw the back of her head. There was no nudity in that shot.
So I have a brilliant idea for a website.
Yeah.
Here's the brilliant idea for the website. It's called pornpremise.com. And like, it's basically Twitter, except your job is to write the premise of a porn.
You know what the problem is right off the bat?
What?
Nobody can spell premise.
Son of a bitch!
I think the problem is that isn't there a rule that if you can think of it, it already exists as a porn?
Well, yes.
Is there any premise anyone can come up with that hasn't been done?
Well, the maxim goes, if it exists in the world, there's porn of it.
Yes.
Oh, Kevin is writing in, hi, Dune and Gators. Yeah.
Hello, Kevin.
Kevin opted to stay home to finally clip the show, and it sounds like he's listening to the show instead of clipping. Or he's probably doing both, which
he's
is
clipping the show as we make it, is what he's doing.
Well, that's great, but he's got like 4 episodes that he still needs to do. I like, in fairness, I asked Kevin to do exactly one thing, which is take the time to clip.
He had one job.
He had one job. Other than that, he basically gets to walk in, sit down, and do the show. Whereas the at least $40,000 that I've spent on this studio in the current incantation.
See, this is the difference between our shows. You got co-hosts that are willing to do chores for the privilege of participating on the show. Me, I got to fight to get my co-host to show up.
Yeah, I know how that is. I get stood up. I got stood up this week, as a matter of fact.
Well, I told you last week I was gonna.
Oh, I'm delighted that Kevin shows
sure.
up every week, and he agreed to do this thing. And all I ask is that he do what he said he would do. That's all. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that.
And he can smoke weed, so it's okay.
And he can smoke weed? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so it's a win-win for him.
Well, I don't prevent Kevin from smoking weed, like being on the show.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's a win-win for him.
Oh yeah.
On the show
and smoke weed.
He can be on the show and smoke weed.
That is true. In fact, there are very few. In fact, I propose another maxim. If it exists in the world, people have smoked weed while doing it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Although smoking weed while deep sea diving is a bit of a challenge, I would
Oh
think.
no, it's easy. You just put it in the fucking air tank.
Somebody out in the world of vaping, somebody out there has done.
That's right. I guarantee somebody has made a vaping regulator for their fucking for their deep dive suit.
Gators, there is scuba porn. I've heard.
What? Oh God, you're gonna get me kicked off of something else. Like this is just gonna happen.
I'm Googling this right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here we go.
Okay, here we
let's
go.
see. Scuba porn.
Well, these are just people fucking underwater is what this is. I mean, scuba diving.
Porn.
Is scuba diving required here?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I like the effect of jiggling underwater. That is
Gators. That's not the same thing.
That's.
Oh, check this out. Apparently, there's a website called thumbzilla.com, and let me put that up for you. Free scuba porn, the hottest scuba porn videos on the planet at Thumbzilla. How do we know they're the hottest? Because Zilla is the fucking king. How much do you want to bet this is like a fraternity? Like some bro was like, dude, how do you know it's the hottest thing ever? Easy. It's fucking massive, bro. Dude, bro, man, guy. Oh my God, ex-hamster. Oh, here's my favorite so far. This is what happens when you fuck up a Google script. Dirty porn vids. Now, they didn't do the reference call right here. So what it says is search, in brackets, double brackets, scuba porn video, free porn. Oh boy. You doing it wrong, you fuckers.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Calling, see, there you go.
Underwater scuba porn search from xnxx.com.
I will have to say that the airplane bathroom porn I once watched was not realistic. There's no way there's that much space in an airplane bathroom.
Wait a minute.
You know, it's sort of like I just saw there was one time like somebody on my show played some random clip of some brother and sister hanging out or something.
Okay, can I just say that incest porn is the most disgusting thing ever?
No, they were step siblings.
They were step siblings. And then Johnny went and found some unrelated video of.
I found the video that you had a clip of audio from.
I don't know if I played a clip of it.
You fell on your keyboard and this landed on this web page that played this audio randomly.
So when I was watching Cops and that domestic abuse woman said that she fell down the stairs, similarly, Dune fell on his keyboard. I got it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
It could be.
He fell on his keyboard and there was this step sibling thing. The premise being that they were wrestling over spilt milk.
Literally.
Oh my God! Oh,
because they're having breakfast, which means he was still in his underwear and she was in her underwear, and it kind of just slipped out and then slid in accidentally, and she's like,
I think the question
was why is there a dick in me?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Something like that. If you Google that, you can find the video.
Here's where my mind is going at the moment, because I don't even want to think about incest porn because
step siblings. God. It's okay.
No, it's not, Gators.
Well, that's better than real incest.
No, Gators. There's nothing okay about incest porn. Nothing. I'm sorry. You were too late. Your family got married, and the genetics aren't the point.
Well, for all we know, they were dating before their parents hooked up.
Gators, it doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to make this better, okay?
See, here's where my mind goes. The moment I go to scuba porn and like the fourth result is underwater scuba porn, that like immediately makes me think, apparently people are like getting down in wetsuits with respirators, you know, because that's a normal thing.
Well, I know there was a trilogy of space porns that someone told me about and I downloaded.
Of course you did, Gators, because you're a fucking data glutton.
For science.
No, Gators, for your
science.
gluttony. That's what it is.
I'm still working on that shirt, by the way, Johnny. We do Twitch finds for
and
science.
that's why we need to make the Mayo Chup ice creams for science.
So does the t-shirt say, I'm the reason that cable internet has data caps?
No.
Because I would wear that with pride. Bandwidth, attention cable companies, bandwidth is not an artificially scarce resource, okay? It doesn't cost you more. So quit trying to pretend that it does. Ugh. That just bugs the fuck out of me. So what's new in the world of Dune?
I'm not in Ohio anymore.
Oh yeah, are you back at work? Like, how's the factory? Like, are you back at the office?
I just on certain days, but mainly working from home. But no, I spent 2 weeks in Ohio on location.
This is actually a decent time to be in Ohio, except for the humidity.
It sucks. The humidity sucks, but yeah, it's interesting to travel these days. It's definitely an experience.
Did you fly?
Yeah, I flew.
I bet flying actually isn't terrible anymore.
Well, I think we touched on it last week. I think I did. What sucks is the larger airports. Not a lot of stuff is open. Like maybe 30%, maybe 40. So the problem is now that the people are starting to. I was in Chicago. For a layover, and now that people are starting to fly again, it's just packing what is open. So like if like Starbucks, 200-foot line.
Oh my God!
Plus the 6 foot, and so it really packs up. The McDonald's areas look like a loading gate because there's so many people. But it's just because everything's closed. There's so many things closed.
Well, and if you've got 20 minutes between flights, which is not uncommon. I am convinced that the way that airlines save money is like, they automatically, even if you're flying like, 300 miles, they'll like run you through somewhere else. And I'm convinced that all of that logistical runaround has to do with skipping out on the airline food that wasn't good to begin with, but it actually wasn't bad. Like, I remember airline food was pretty good.
Let me tell you the fucking bonus though. I'm talking, get your bell ready. Gators. This is full on. I hope this gets remembered.
Yeah,
What they're doing now for the planes that is completely different since this whole thing is they literally call and load from the rear of the plane forward. They actually do that. So they call row 36 first and they load back to front. And it loads so fucking quick. It's unreal. It is so insanely fast when they do that, as opposed to, the who paid the most and then who paid the second most and who paid the third most, on down the line.
And then we got to let, veterans and then families and then.
They still let people that have to have time on. They still have the veteran thing.
ADA makes sense. Like if you're in a wheelchair, I understand that.
They still do that. But the whole thing is the plane. I mean, once they get into the normal crowd, I mean, it's just like lightning speed. I mean, it is so freaking efficient. I mean, because people, as long as people get up there when they're supposed to, as opposed to what it was, where you had to stop and wait, and it was just a big freaking mess.
The part that always made me crazy was the way that they changed. I mean, this has been studied like a lot. Sure, you can find it on YouTube, but like the Mythbusters actually once reconstructed a plane and got 300 volunteers, and they went through, every way to do this. And what they found was absolutely every way that people have come up with to load planes is more efficient than the way that airlines do it. Absolutely, absolutely every single one.
Well, and that shit. Well, the thing is, it's all money related because, I mean, what they do, it's really funny because, like, if the group is main or the group is group 1, that's really group 3 on both of them.
Yes,
it really is because you have like and I cluster them all together. The people that need extra time, the parents.
The business wieners. Don't forget the business wieners.
No, that's group 1. Group 2 is first class.
Okay.
Pretty much. I think I missed a group there. No, it's 4. So 4 of them. So group 3 would be your frequent flyers, the people, the businessmen that travel all the frickin' time.
Gold, excellent, exclusive, elite fucker. Like,
and then
the ones that have their own gates.
They have a class called they have another class that's basically one that you buy into. So you have a credit card, you have, whatever. That's another one.
Right.
And then you have what would be group 1 loads. So that's the 4th one in line.
Right.
Wasn't there? I heard. I didn't read the book, but someone wrote a book about a group of people that basically will fly certain flights that they find like cheap flights to fly for the miles to get like the gold or platinum rating. And I mean, they literally get on a plane, get to their destination, get off the plane, get on another plane, fly back.
Yeah, when they do, there's a reason. When they normally do that, and I've actually known people that do that. It's a yearly thing. So to keep your status, you have to have so much clout during the year, and then once you get that, you have it all next year. But you have to get it again to have it the next year after that.
Yeah,
so if you get down to if you get down to the end and you're gonna miss out, they will go and take they will spend a whole day taking stupid flights just so they can get there. And the reason why, and believe me, I know what it is because I travel all the time. It's nice to be able to get the Comfort Plus seats because I get them every single time. So that's worth it for me. I actually get first class occasionally, not very often because there's people that fly. They live on planes.
How frequently are you flying, Dune?
Oh, I'm at least once or twice a month.
Wow, really? For work?
But that's not that much. I mean,
that's true.
There are some people.
Some people are every week.
Literally, yeah, they're just constantly on planes, and those because there's times where like I will be like number 30 in line for first class. So there's 30 other people that have more time in the air than me. So there's some people out there that fly a bunch. I mean, a whole.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
But it's nice. It's nice to have that status though, because you do get to get on earlier. You get to get the good exit row seats and all that good stuff. So it's worth it.
I mean, what really bothers me is airlines cause problems and then they try to sell you the solutions to the problems while pretending that they didn't cause them.
Yes. It is kind of cool now that what has changed. You always heard the thing where they're trying to bump people off of planes and give you like credits for Sky Miles. That has actually switched and changed now. Now they actually give real monetary rewards that will actually give you debit cards or gift cards. You get Amazon gift cards or you get like a Visa, debit card. And I've seen it get to $1,000 plus.
The maximum, the maximum that they're allowed to give is $1,300 for a domestic flight.
Yeah, I've seen it get above 1,000 a few times, and it's really funny watching people that kind of. I've seen people just sitting there, just kind of looking at the crowd, going like, "If it gets any higher, I'm going. If it gets any," And where it pays off, where it pays off is like you can kind of imagine a trip home, and you're on a flight that say leaves at noon. They're going to say, well, we're going to pay you $1,000 to take a flight that leaves at 7:00 tonight. It's hard to pass that up. Well, if you're just going home.
So here's why, in case anyone wants to know, here's why they do that. if you are voluntarily or involuntarily walked from a flight, the FAA fines the fuck out of the airlines. And good, they should. Like that's not okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Right. For overselling. However, here's the problem. This goes around like, the advertising maxim. I know at least half my advertising money is wasted, but I don't know which half. By that logic, airlines know at least 10% of the people that book airline flights won't show up. They just don't know which 10%. So what they do is they overbook by 8% because that's just good business. But yeah, it is actually cheaper for them to pay than to handle the fines, which I would assume are massive.
Yeah. I'm pretty fortunate. Like I said, we being business class, we pay full fare prices, so we don't get bumped. I mean, but we have the option to not do that if we had to. It is crazy right now because right now everything's the flights. Any flight that's over half full, they'll give you an option to take another flight for free if you want. It's an odd time. It really is.
It isn't. Yeah. These are odd times.
Like the Dayton airport we were at had one little tiny store open in the whole airport. And that was it. Just one.
The Dayton airport is tiny.
It is tiny, but there's a lot of stuff in there. There's restaurants. There's places to buy your trinkets and T-shirts and stuff like that. And just one right there at the gate is open. Right there where the security is. That's it.
Bummer.
That's it. Yeah, it's. But it'll, as time goes on, it'll get better. Problem is a lot of those places may not open just because whoever owns them won't be able to afford to open it back up.
Now at the airports, do they have the one-way arrows in the walkways?
They don't. I thought that was odd too when we were talking about that.
They have them in the malls. Not that people understand how they work.
Nope. The only arrows you'll find are when you go through security. That's about it.
Basically one way.
I was about to say that's the only place they don't need the arrows.
Yeah.
Are you before the armed motherfuckers? Or are you after them? That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
TSA pre-check. I can't.
The way I see people,
I've had it for a decade. I love it.
That's your yes.
The way I see people not giving a fuck about one-way aisles, I'm amazed I don't see more people trying to walk the wrong way through a security point and getting a gun pulled on them.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, there were no arrows anywhere that I saw in any of the airports I was in. None at all. Now, thing is though, I mean, literally, they're so barren.
I was about to say we should go and set up some shuffleboard, okay?
Oh, you can absolutely. Like the Wichita airport when I got back, and I got back on a flight that landed at 11 o'clock a.m. and it literally looked like the same flight that I get back on that comes back at midnight. I mean, that's how dead that airport is. Chicago was the busiest airport, but even it looked like, Sunday morning at 3 o'clock.
Well, it's Chicago. I mean, what do you expect? Were you in Midway?
That's what I mean.
Were you in Midway or in the other one, the big one?
LaGuardia, was a big one, but still, it's is that the one? Is that what it's called?
No,
LaGuardia is in New York.
No,
LaGuardia. No, it's whatever the one that you fly over the water to land, whatever that one is.
I think that's all of them. Actually, I think all planes. I think all planes take off over Lake Superior because water always beats land if you're gonna crash.
Well, it depends which way the wind's blowing, whether or not you do or not. But
there's that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was like I said, it wasn't the only crowded areas were the stores. Those were the crowded areas. I mean, trying to get into a place to get pop or something, there was a line to get in because
O'Hare. I was thinking of O'Hare.
O'Hara, yeah, Chicago O'Hare. That's it. Yeah, that's where I was. Where I got LaGuardia from. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Yeah, O'Hara. But yeah, it's I guess that was the busiest place, but still, it was even then it wasn't there was no problem maintaining any distance there whatsoever. I mean, seating, same thing. There was always seats between people. everywhere. I mean, there's lots of room.
I mean,
And that's
actually,
going to have to change because that can't maintain itself. There's just no way.
well, I mean, are we still subsidizing the airlines? Like, is part of the CARES Act subsidizing because, we need this industry? Are they still getting subsidized? I don't remember.
Tell you. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, that's one of the things in Chicago that I saw that was really. I actually took a picture. I should see if I can send it to you. But when we were taxiing out, I took a picture of a massive, what was it, just airplane parking lot. And I mean, planes that are they're turned wing to wing, and they're as tight as you can get them out there, just stored on.
Well, the fleet
on the tarmacs.
Here's a fun fact. So, Roswell, New Mexico, total shithole. But a place that I end up finding myself maybe once or twice a year for production. And I can't say total shithole. The people are nice, but it's a very small town, and it's in January. It's 100 degrees. Like, it is such a hot place. It's ridiculous.
They're in Pahrump, right?
Oh,
right there.
Pahrump, Nevada is a yes. That's or is that?
I know Pahrump from Martville. That's how I know that name.
Yeah, no, it's nowhere near there, but it's similar in the crazy. Like it is a wild place. So a client, this is where like I'll do drone work, right? And where we will drive 3 hours. I mean, you can see the Mexico border. Like that's how far down we are. And every single time we pass this airport, yes, there is an airport in Roswell because, there's an Air Force base in Roswell, in case you haven't heard of it.
Or maybe there isn't.
Right. Oh, well, it's totally not there. Just, who am I kidding?
Yeah.
I actually, they changed it over, and what it really reads from the air is nothing to see here, folks. Like, just a huge sky banner. No, but like, the airport is actually larger than you would expect it to be. There probably isn't a standard for an Air Force base size, but in general, the Air Force requires that tarmacs be a certain level of thick in order to let them, land their heavier planes. So what that means is this tiny little city ends up with an unbelievable, full-size airplane or airport. Here's my point. Every 737 MAX in the entire Delta fleet is parked in a single parking lot, and you can see this. Like, they're trying to hide them. They're like, behind the airport, but you can completely drive around it because there's nothing there. And on the other side of the fence, there it is, like 200 737 Maxes that they're just, waiting for the FAA to lift the ban on. And
yeah, I was gonna say that was a whole different deal, that those were stuck over there, but now it's actual, planes that they were flying that are grounded just because the flights aren't there.
Right.
That's the ones I were seeing that were kind of crazy.
Well, if you can pick an airline that doesn't end up going under, it's probably not a bad time to buy airline stock. I haven't even looked.
For tickets, I've heard that tickets can be purchased pretty cheap.
Oh.
Some places, that's what's interesting, is some of the places you can go really cheap, but some of the places that I've had to go, because it's so limited, it's been really expensive just because everything's full.
Well, it's like trying to fly into Santa Fe, New Mexico. The Santa Fe airport is like the size of a shoe. But a lot of people fly there because they want to ski in Santa Fe. I don't really know why. I mean, Santa Fe is nice. I would take it over Vail. God, I bet the Vail airport is a fucking shit show. Anyway.
Hard to say.
Anyway.
Hard to say.
You're the first person who's actually flown that I've heard from since this whole brave new shit show.
It's like I said, it's like that's what I do like about. I like the loading of the planes, but they're, it's like you said, they have, you have to wear a mask on the plane. Period. They would like you to wear them in the airport. Most do, some don't. But that's their rule. You either comply or you don't fly. There's a pun there somewhere. I'm not sure.
Well, I think you just did it. Well, at least a rhyming couplet.
Comply or don't fly.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
I think any policy on a plane could use that phrase: comply or don't fly.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes. Sit down and shut the F up.
Yeah,
I think that right there would be the big one.
My favorite.
That's my motto.
My favorite is tell me about the First Amendment while you're on a private, like a plane that somebody else owns. And it's like, no, shut the fuck up. You are just explaining how little you understand about the First Amendment right now. Like, don't do that.
Sit down. Yeah, sit down. Take up your space only. Don't recline your frickin' seat until we're in the air. Just stupid little things. Just little things like that, And then
there should be a short list of, if you just, like, the world would be a better place if you just didn't do this shit on an airport, like in an airplane. Like, that's it.
Is it Dana Carvey? Is that the cat's name, the comedian?
Dana Carvey played Wayne.
Tommy in Tommy Boy. That was him, right?
Tommy Boy, no, that's Chris Farley.
I know, but what was the other kid?
David Spade.
David Spade. Okay, David Spade. That's it. My favorite line of all. When they're on the airplane and they're playing like they're stewardesses or whatever, stewards. Mm-hmm. And he said, he's talking about putting the seatbelt together. And he said, he goes, oh, by the way, and if you can't figure this out, call me and I'll come over and hit you in the head with a tack hammer. And I think that's the greatest line ever. Right there. That should be used more often by stewardesses.
Even funnier for anyone who's ever seen a tack hammer is, Dune, do you have my drone friend Paul, like, he actually has the crazy, like, the crazy filtered mask that, like, you would see in, like, Breaking Bad with, like, the two crazy filters.
No.
I think so. I'm like, we really should just go to He has another one for his wife who won't wear it. I have no idea why. And
well, they're uncomfortable for what?
Well, of course they're not comfortable, and you can't hear. You can't hear anything.
I think I purchased 20. The ones I got are I got them from Custom Ink is where I got them, and they're actually really nice. They're double layer with nice ear loops that are permanent, and they only come in. I think they come in black now, the black and white. But I got the white ones, and you can wash and reuse them. I use those mostly unless I'm somewhere on a site where it's really really hot. Then I use the replace or the throwaway ones that are just like the blue and white, those things.
Yeah.
Because it gets hard to, those are easier to breathe through, the blue ones, the blue and white ones. The ones you just use once and then throw away. Those things. Yeah. The ones they basically give you on the airplane if you don't want them. If you don't have one, that's what they'll give you.
Right.
It's one of those things.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing, like, the part that I really don't understand is that somehow this has become a political debate. Like, what? Like, really? Come on, guys. Like,
well, I almost opened that can of worms yesterday. So
no, it actually hasn't been. You just think it is. That's what I think. It's funny. I've seen people, doesn't matter what side they're on. Some just flat out say, "Fuck you, I'm not wearing them," and some do. There's no more on one side or the other. That's your perception.
I'm delighted. I am delighted to be wrong. I'm absolutely delighted.
I told Gators, I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. There's not it's not saving anybody. That's my opinion. Like I said, it's an illness that has a, almost, it's in the high 99.9 something % survival rate. It's ridiculous. We should be doing like other places did, like Sweden, and just, protect the people that need protected, and never did what we did to shut things down. It didn't help anything. But that's beyond me. I didn't get to make that call. But if a place has a sign that says I have to have it to come in there, that's their business. I'll put the sign. I'll put the thing on and go in there. I just won't go in.
Yeah,
that's it. I can follow the rules. If like I said, if so be it.
Yeah, make rules and I'll follow them.
I'm not going to try to change your mind or anybody's mind.
Oh, I gave up on that so long ago.
Well, I tell people, if seriously, if it makes you feel better to wear one by all means.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do. Like I said, that's
wear
the
one.
rule, so I wear it.
What do you got to moving right along?
No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not. There's no argument here. There never is. It's just that's my opinion. But I still say, if it's a rule, it's a rule.
That's right. I'm like, I can totally follow rules. Rules don't upset me. You know what upsets me? Crazy motherfuckers. That's what upsets me.
No, that's
people
that's
that can't follow the rules.
Yes,
that's
and then
what
like I said, there's equal amounts of people that you have people that flat out don't want to wear them, and you have an equal amount of people that want to wear them. And if you're not wearing them, they're gonna go Karen on you, go get in your ass. And so that's the problem. Is those two factions are going to fight each other. And they're looking forward to it, and that's the problem.
Why would anyone look forward to a confrontation? Like anybody?
Well, they do. You know those people, but you know those people exist. There's people that all they want to do is find somebody doing something wrong and point it out to them. I mean, they do it all the time.
Well, there are people that take delight in things that upset people on opposite sides, and plenty of people have played that up. And
where did the term Karen come from? I've seen that before, and I'm like, who the fuck is Karen?
I'm really surprised. There's a lot of people that haven't heard that meme. It's just I see it all the time. It's basically the whole. I think I told Johnny about it. It's just a meme of a person that that says let me talk. I need to talk to your manager. It's that person. It's the person that's never happy.
So the Karen always, is a generic irate customer.
That's it.
Got it.
That's it. It must have been based on a real Karen that must have had short blonde hair.
My name is Karen. I want to talk to your manager.
Yes, and I feel sorry for anybody named Karen or any blonde girls.
We do apologize to the Karens of the world. It's not your fault.
It's not. It's just a bad name. It's like when people call me boomers. Like, what the fuck ever.
Okay.
That really hurts my feelings. People really think that does. It's like I guess I don't get it. Okay,
you're not old enough to be a baby boomer, are you?
Yes, I'm right there on the edge. I'm 55.
No, that puts you just too young. I thought it was 5 years after World War II.
I'm not sure.
You know what? We'll allow it. I think the okay boomer line fits perfectly.
Well, I wasn't sure where it came from. It came from like Boomhauer, or maybe I don't know.
And if you're old enough to get that one, you're a boomer.
But that's what I'm saying though. There's a lot of people that are just hall monitors out there, unfortunately, and they're the ones looking to start fights. There's other people that won't wear things or do things or don't comply with anything just so somebody will getting their grill over it. So I don't got time for that shit.
See, America, you have the right to be as stupid as you choose to be. Like, go for it. Like, just go for it. And
well, it is like anybody. You have the right to your opinion, but you don't have the right for me to have to listen to it.
Oh yeah,
that's the whole difference.
Well, no, in the same. Okay, this might be controversial, but like, all right. I have gone both ways about this, and at the end of the day, okay, let me put it this way. I've never given any money to any homeless person ever. Not a single time, never. All right? It doesn't mean that I don't feel for that human being, but I simply will completely and totally ignore them. That might be evil, maybe, but what I've decided is that you have the right to sit there and to say whatever you want and to put a sign wherever you want, and I have every right to ignore you.
Yeah, I think a case like that is just because of the amount that aren't really in the position that they make it out to be. And that's the problem. You never
I don't care. I mean, I don't want to sort. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it makes it worse. It would be different if every person that had a sign really needed help. That would be one thing, but I think there's too many out there that that's their decision to not get, it's like when somebody says, they just need food, but you try to get, or like gas. I've had that happen before. People say, I just need gas money. Okay, well, you know what? I don't have any money. This has happened several times. I've done this, I've done this twice.
You've said, I've got a card. Where's your car?
Yes, I will. I said, we can go across the street. I'll fill your car up. And they absolutely would refuse. No, I just need gas money.
Oh, you
Okay,
mean money,
you need to go
money.
fuck
You
off.
mean money
Yeah,
off,
yeah,
money,
yeah.
money. Okay.
Yeah, you need money. You're just throwing the word gas in there because it's going to make me. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, it reminds me of and for all I know, this person was telling the truth, and I don't really care. But she had props, so. Yeah, Nick and I, coworker of mine, we went out to lunch for a Hawaiian barbecue at this, nice Hawaiian barbecue place. Well, I mean, it's fast food, and we come out to the parking lot. And this lady comes up to us with a shopping bag from Target with a box of Cheerios in it. And she's like, well, I need to get some breakfast for my kids. And I got the cereal, but I didn't have enough for the milk. And, I'd like my kids. You have any change you give me that I could buy the milk? And Nick reaches into his pocket and pulls out whatever his coin that he could have to hand her, which is, less than $1 worth of coin. So, of course,
Do you know how much milk costs?
That... I didn't care. It's just that if he's gonna give her the pocket change, I kind of feel like I need to give her the pocket change.
Oh, Gators,
too.
you fucking pushover!
It was less than $1.
That's not the point,
less
Gators.
than $1, and she had props. She came prepared with a story and props.
Gators wanted her to go. He just wanted her to leave. Because the interesting story. One of these times, I was in a Quick Trip, which is it's a place, it's a convenience store here, and I got out of I put gas in my vehicle, and I'm walking up to go inside, and this fucking guy, like way across the parking lot, pulls radar goddamn lock on me, and I saw it. I saw him lock onto me, and he was and he's on his way to beg for money. And I almost wanted to ask him, I will give you $20 if you tell me what the fuck it was that you made radar lock on me and wanted to come over and ask me in this crowded parking lot for money, because I'm going to make sure never do that again.
Do I have a chump flag? Like
that's what I said. There had to be something. There had to be some reason this guy in a crowded parking lot zeroed in on me, and I was the mark, and I don't know why.
Well, one time I was in San Francisco, walking from one record store to the next,
like you do. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Like I do. This homeless guy came up to me. He said, "Hey, you got $1 so I can buy a beer?" He got the $1.
I'd be like, show me a beer in San Francisco that costs $1, and I'll buy you a 12-pack.
I don't care. He got the $1. He told me he wanted beer. I support that.
See, there you go.
My guess is he's asking for multiple dollars, and then he's going to put it together and buy some beers. That was my thought.
I don't care because no amount of beer is going to make you less homeless.
Or black tar heroin, but hey, who's?
Let's hope it was beer. It was $1. Maybe Natty Light was on special that day someplace, and he got himself one of those.
The
large
cost
cans.
of living in San Francisco would leave most people homeless. Like it is. It is shocking. And I kind of miss, the last time I was in San Francisco, it wasn't the same city. I remember the first time I went to San Francisco was right around the turn of the century. It was 2003, 2004, something like that. And that was nice. I kind of liked it. It was chill. And apparently, tech has taken over. It's not the same.
There's people that work in San Francisco that live much like where Brian lives now, out in that area.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was living out in Hayward, I was considering applying for jobs in San Francisco, but
you can't afford it.
Well, I would have commuted from Hayward.
Yeah, it's a long ways.
It's insane. That's my point.
It's not that much different from my commute from here to Boston today.
If we all had fiber internet, the where would matter a lot less. That would be very nice.
Well, I tell you what, that's one thing that this whole thing has happened. The rental office market is taking a huge shit, and it may never recover.
P.S.
There's a lot of companies that people will not be going back to the office.
P.S. Most businesses don't own the space that they're in. unless they're a
No, that's
fabrication
what I'm saying.
facility.
That's what I said. The rental places, there's, the jobs like Johnny, whatever. A lot of those aren't coming back. I mean, they never left literally, but they're
they'll
not
come
coming
back with a smaller office
much smaller
presence, and they won't renew the full lease.
Yes.
Or
Well, and that's
it's going to happen.
That's my point. Dune said rentals have gone to hell, and what I'm saying is, and by the way, most office space is rented.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a mess. There's going to be a lot of empty buildings.
Well,
I think so.
that's a shame, unless of course, you want to start a exotic shuffleboard channel on YouTube where you trespass.
I think it's one of those things that it's just nobody would have ever been willing to take that chance to send their whole office structure home,
now they didn't have to.
Forced. Well, now the thing is, now it's been forced, and they've also found out that it's viable with the technology.
It's been proven.
Yeah. So yeah. What's to stop? I mean, literally, what's to stop?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the place I work for, they did an annual test 1 day a year where that day everyone works from home as kind of a test in case there was some kind of emergency like this to make sure we were prepared. Now, were we completely prepared? No, a lot of people just treated it like a day off, but we were pretty prepared. But the thing is that this company already kind of proved the concept, but still wouldn't take that plunge unless forced to.
Right. And now that they have, like I said, now that the information's out, and
I don't know.
This is it's one of these things that changes everything.
Kicking and screaming. I mean, here's the crazy part. Nothing will ever be the same. College will never be the same. I mean, fucking never. It's for the foreseeable future. What I hope, maybe because I'm a fatal optimist, but I hope this changes education forever. It really kind of should. Like, here's your chance to make the best of an unbelievably horrible situation. And you can either hem and haw and not educate children. This is every school. I'm not just talking about college. Figure out how to educate children remotely. Because guess what? You don't have a choice. So please just do it.
Yeah, there has to be some. That's the problem. Is I think a lot of the remote stuff. We're going to be hard pressed to crawl out of this hole of being with kids being out of school this long.
Oh God, yes. But I mean,
the whole COVID thing is going to be used as an excuse for many, many, many years to come.
The problem is schools don't have extra money to add infrastructure. I guess they don't really need it, and that's the neat part.
It's going to be I know when I was in Ohio, the Dayton schools there, what their plan is, which it sounds horrendous, is they're going to, they'll do the social distance. They're going to have desks X amount of feet apart. They'll have masks. They'll have face shields and all this stuff.
That is a terrible idea. Oh my God!
It is. Well, I tell you, the worst part is the kids stay in a single room, and the teachers move from room to room.
Who the fuck thought of that?
That's what. Oh, my wife. That's what my wife said.
Wow, let's take a bad idea and see if we can make it worse in committee.
But I'm just saying, can you imagine? They're going to have like these huge rolling cabinets of shit to take from room to room. I don't know. I mean, I guess they got to do something.
So let me get this straight. Your child, this is clearly the result of irate parents at school board meetings. Don't worry, parents. Your children are only susceptible to the germs and decisions that are the result of their homeroom class. 'Cause that makes sense. Don't, oh God, that's so stupid.
If little Johnny shows up needing a bath, you just give him a bath. I don't know. We'll see.
Right, like they've got a radiation fucking scrub you down place in the corner. Like, well, he tested positive. Time to go to the showers.
It's like somebody asked me, said, "What have I learned?" I said, "Well, I tell you what I've learned is that there's this thing called DoorDash and Grubhub. I didn't know these things. I didn't know these things existed, And now not only do I know these things existed, but I also know that I have 20 extra pounds on my ass because of it.
So you weren't kidding? You actually discovered DoorDash as the result of...
No, I knew of them. I'd never used them because it sounded ridiculous to me until I realized that DoorDash will actually bring you food from a place that I don't even want to drive to. That's what I found out is places that I think are too far for me to drive. There is still somebody willing to get into a car and go there and get shit for me. That's what I've realized.
That's right.
And all I have to do is tip them well, and I get fed.
That's correct.
It's magical. It's magical.
It is, and I'm happy to say, my DoorDash driver brought me the right Chipotle order this time, as opposed to last time, when we found out that we got some people in this neighborhood that order the most boring bowls from Chipotle ever. And I got stuff. It's like, we'll refund you, keep the food, and if you still want your food, place another order. And I'm like, well, this isn't even anything we can eat. Like, they got like plain rice and meat bowls, no toppings or anything.
Oh my God, get a pressure cooker. That's nothing.
That's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what. So we had to place
these people.
Who ordered that?
Somebody who ran out of dog food. That's who.
Somebody who said, "Woohoo! We got awesome burritos."
Hi, I'd like a burrito without the burrito. Thanks.
You just have to hope whoever got your stuff is going like, "Oh my God, I had no idea you could get all this stuff on here." Yeah,
exactly. They traded up, we traded down. Yeah.
I really like. Part of me hopes there is some sort of Twitter account that are like the craziest shit, because everybody knows the Chipotle menu. Like, that's what's so great about it. It's insanely simple. You go in, they say, black beans or white, what kind of meat, or they call it protein, right? Because you can also get tofu. Protein, what kind of protein, black or pinto beans, white or brown rice, right? Like, then the freaking... I don't know, the
sauces, toppings.
Yeah.
Would you like to add guac to that?
Exactly. My point is, it's very simple, but I love that approach. Like, the Subway design of how to make sandwiches is actually the most efficient way to do it. Unlike the airlines, who have gone out of their way to get the least possibly efficient way to load a plane. And until a fucking pandemic, had never even entertained the possibility.
And then that shit will go right up back out the window when it's all done.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, boy.
Right back to
we just need to get a vaccine and we could all go back to normal.
Gators, if we had a vaccine today, it would be a year.
God.
I mean, I just, no. I don't. I would just prefer to focus on at least the chance of shit getting better as the result of a bunch of bad shit. I know I'm a fatal optimist. I always have been.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some things that are better. I mean, I've been happy to work from home.
Yes, but we established in the first hour that you hate people.
I was joking.
So that doesn't count.
I was joking about that. Some people are okay.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's kind of sucky is the effects of people being at home. Unfortunately, the alcoholism rates, the people getting beat up rates, the abuse. I mean, there's a lot of bad part about it too. I mean, it has its bad points to a lot of people. It doesn't get talked about a whole lot. So.
And then also you have the neighbors that, to pass the time, take up a new hobby.
Yeah. Up and down the street, huh?
Yes, both blocks of the street, back and forth, nonstop.
Oh my God!
So you've got some Vinnies who are like modifying their Harleys like one wrench turn at a time. They're like, rev it again. I've turned it half a click.
It's a four-wheeler type of thing, the type of thing you're supposed to load in the back of a truck, take out to the middle of nowhere where no one cares that you're,
Yeah.
But he's got to tune it, so he's driving back and forth the 2 blocks of this. I live on the shortest street in the town, which would be like the most boring street to take a motorized vehicle for a spin.
You know what you really should do? because you, of course, care about your neighbors and you hate their fucking hobbies, you should go on Amazon, find the cheapest decibel meter that you can possibly find, okay? Walk up, you know, in your mask and very nicely say, here's your decibel meter. I wanted to be sure that you could figure out the loudest shit possible, you know, without having to test it every time to see if it's louder.
Just go to a police auction and see if you can buy some stop sticks.
Oh,
that would probably work.
well, wait, what's a stop stick?
Oh, that's those things they throw out and have the hollow nails in them.
Oh, like
So when you run
the strips that pop tires?
Yes, yeah.
They sell those?
Oh, I'm sure you can buy anything on eBay. Johnny's looking as we speak.
I'm thinking to myself, this sounds like something you've done before.
I mean, that is some James Bond shit.
Not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you are
there's a guy on YouTube I watch that he buys old police cars and then searches them afterwards, and he finds all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm guessing there's stuff out there.
What does an old Crown Vic cost? Like,
yeah, it's you know, you'd be surprised. They you know, he buys them and then fixes them up and sells them to either private security companies or people that make taxis out of them. So,
I mean, the real reason that police are getting rid of Crown Vics, I think, is because they're having a hard time. Like, for a good 20 years, they were the cop car.
Well, they quit making them. That's why they got rid of them. They stopped. Ford fucked up bad. They put all their eggs in one basket with the Taurus. That was going to be the new cop car, and the police hated it because.
Well, I wonder why. It's a fucking Ford Taurus.
Well, the biggest reason I rented one once, and you sit down in them almost like a Corvette. It's like a pan.
Oh, so it's
really
low. So it's like bucket seated.
They're really hard to get in and out of. So they've all gone SUV now. Almost everybody, all of them drive like those Ford Explorers or whatever.
No, it's it's not the Expedition. It's the Escape. That's what it is.
But they're the little SUV looking things. That's what you see them in now because they're, you know, they're efficient. They're, you know, it's not like they're pretty fuel and they're easy to get in and out of. So
I don't know. I would put them right at around the efficiency of a Crown Vic. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I'm just saying. It's not like back in the old days. The difference between a Suburban and a car was huge. You know, now they're all pretty good. I mean, but yeah, the Crown Vic, they really screwed the pooch when they quit making that.
I love my car. I get 53 miles to the gallon on the highway. That's great.
Johnny, did we ever ask Vamp about that picture we saw of him with the female person?
Oh no.
No, we haven't.
All right. Okay, it's my show and you both are doing me a favor, so I'll take it. Show me the money.
No, we just noticed that the picture of the person didn't look like the person that we saw in pictures of the past.
Oh, is that the most elaborate way to ask me if I have a new girlfriend?
Well, yes.
Okay.
that would be the question.
Yes.
That would be the question.
Yes, I do. Her name is.
It was interesting. It was really interesting how it played out. Johnny and I we were doing the show one time. And this thing popped up. And I went, "Hey, wait!" We actually stopped the show. I sent it to Johnny. I said, "Johnny, does this look like the same picture?"
I was like, "That's not. Who's that? I don't know who that is."
Yeah. So we said next time.
When did this happen?
Yeah.
We didn't get the update. You didn't send us out like a newsletter with.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Gators. That like I don't gossip. I guess.
I guess.
Hang on.
Anyway.
Let me just. By the way, time for me to call everyone I know and be like, so, different girlfriend. Here I have feelings about this. Like, you know, no, fuck
okay.
no.
Well, I don't think we were going to judge you. We just, we're just curious.
How are we supposed to know there's a different girlfriend if you don't tell us there's a different girlfriend?
I just don't think I really care whether you know or not.
Okay.
Yes, okay, for the record, I shall put this up. I shall put this shit up.
The only thing I knew about the other one was that she liked those crazy boots that you wear. That's all.
Actually, the new one does too. That's the best part.
Yeah, the Doc Martens. Here we go.
Yes.
All the girls like Vamp for his boots.
I mean, it's one of my more redeeming qualities, I suppose. I don't.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
I don't fully understand that.
It's
but
not about the hair. We know it's not about the hair.
I like my fucking mad scientist do, okay? I roll out of bed, my hair does this. Now, I pity any motherfucker who has to put shit in their hair to get it to do this. But I'm not one of them.
I don't have to do anything to my hair to get it to do what I need it to do.
That's true. Now, are you due for a new shower curtain, by the way?
I don't know. It's been about a year. That's true.
Yeah. You might have to get that going again.
Well, last time I gave away, I gave the last one away to what's his name, to a listener. I don't know.
I forgot what you had 3 options. One had the periodic table, and one had flowers, and I forgot what the other one was. I don't know.
Well, I mean, here is my rationale. Like in any given scenario, like if you think about like square footage wise, the shower curtain is actually one of the larger spaces that every single house has. So I'm like, I'm going to put something fun on there. Like, why wouldn't I? So, I mean, that was my rationale, at least at first. Because
get one for Johnny that has quad on it or something somehow.
It's very hard to like represent quad. I think you'd be better off just making, I don't know.
I represent quad with the speakers in my rooms. I don't need a shower curtain for that.
That's right.
I feel like Gators is like the representation of the quad. Like, I mean, he just kind of you are the quad, Gators, because nobody else cares.
Well, there's a whole forum.
Okay,
of people
a lot of people
care,
but none of them are here right now.
He is the army of one of the quad.
I am. I'm one of the army of quad.
All right, it took me a second to get this up there. There we go. Okay. Now, let me be sure that we're on the same page here. Is this the picture you saw?
That's it. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
I did not recognize her.
Now, that girl is not Chinese. Now, this might be this may be
I did notice that.
This may be like a very
maybe
a very difficult thing, but I don't, not Chinese. Like that is correct.
We noticed.
Johnny and listen, Johnny and I do not see race. I don't know what you're inferring.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I hate that shit.
Dude, I'm gonna leave you alone on this one.
All we saw is you is with a nice person, and we weren't gonna infer anything. I just don't remember your girlfriend wearing red glasses. That's it.
Oh, it's the glasses that gave it away. God damn it!
That's all.
Someone could buy glasses.
Yes. Anyway, that's okay. So
I'm supposed to help you with this theory, not
as long as you're
destroy
happy.
it.
We don't care.
New girlfriend's name is Sage. She is lovely, and she's undoubtedly going to have feelings about being part of my show. But I don't care because she also doesn't have.
Are those positive feelings?
I don't know.
Feelings?
I'll let you know next week. How about that?
Well, what are her feelings about the show in general?
She loves that it's a good thing for me to do. She loves that I do it.
It keeps him out of the bar.
Would you have to use a lot of words to qualify a statement?
Well, here's how she explained it to me. If you had a man cave where you and your buddies would like rip farts and talk about it, I would be delighted that you weren't farting around, me.
Hey, how hot is the oven supposed to go for a Papa Murphy's pizza?
350? No, 375? Good question.
375. I think you're right.
No, Vamp. It sounds like she's actually listened to your show then.
Well, see, I've made the mistake.
She described it pretty accurately.
I think once she walked into your studio and you were able to convince her that it had nothing to do with porn, she was probably okay with it.
Which we've disproved this entire show.
That's right.
By the way, Dune, it's $4.25 for the traditional pizza or $3.50 for the stuffed pizza.
Okay, $4.25.
I'm kind of amazed you can
Cancel.
cook a pizza at that heat. That's impressive.
Really? It says 425? That seems like a lot.
I mean, it's leaf.tv. I think it's because they're all right. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Papa Murphy's. This is the
I better
kind of love
verify
I
this.
have for you, Dune. Here,
Thank you. Well, I appreciate it because, well, you got to keep in mind, my wife is on her way home with the pizza. And if I fuck this up, I only had one job.
Right.
that
Pizza
was to preheat
baking
the oven.
instructions. All right, here we go. Original crust. We've got to take Gators down so that everyone.
425. You're right. You
Yep.
got it. I see it.
There we go.
We're good.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyway, I'm convinced that they actually, now if it's thin crust, it's 425 too. Pan crust, also 425. That surprises the shit out of me. Like thin crust, I feel like it would just turn black immediately and die.
It didn't take long. It was like 13 minutes or something. I guess pretty quick.
By the way, for those of you who have never had Papa Murphy's, it's delicious. Like it is.
I love Papa Murphy's.
Oh, it's
great.
so good.
Yep. I think we got Papa Murphy's when Johnny was in
Yeah, on the first trip, when
Yeah.
I went out to California, we got Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
And,
It was. I think it was new at the time. Then it was like, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
It's a great idea. It's an easy way to heat up your entire house and still pay for pizza.
Yes. Yes.
And we have one of them near us in California that we.
Oh, they're everywhere.
visited
They're
a
like
few times.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we don't have them here, but
Really?
I don't think so. I've not seen one anywhere here in Massachusetts. I don't know.
I think
I
Massachusetts.
haven't seen them on the East Coast.
Well, the East Coast is generally snotty about pizza, and they have a good reason to be. Like,
yeah,
New York is some of the best
we know
pizza.
what pizza really is. Yeah.
See, that's like saying nobody buys clammed chowder in Maine, which is bullshit, but I'm sure there are some people that go, chowder? Why the fuck would I buy chowder in a can?
It's like being in Philly. People always ask me which sandwich do I like better, and I was like, I've never been to that place to try either one of them. Then I get the look.
Yeah, they're like, it's that you're dead to me look.
Yeah, it's like you don't have an answer. Then
Geno's all the way.
yeah. What's the other one? I forgot. There's
Pat's?
two. Maybe that's it because they're right across
Pat's
the
and
street from each other. I
Geno's.
think.
They're right
Yeah,
across from each other.
I've had the Geno's in an airport. Does that count?
Yes,
This is good.
it should.
I'm glad we have a consensus here.
If the answer, well, no. If the answer is that it doesn't count, then Geno's just lost a few like notches, right? Because their franchise agreement sucks. Like if they can't duplicate it, that's the thing. Starbucks is not great coffee, but it's ludicrously consistent.
It's consistently bad. This is a great selling point.
It's consistently
McDonald's is too.
something. I mean, that's the point of a franchise. Take whatever your product is.
If you're in the Chicago airport, it's consistently long line.
Yes,
That's what it is.
it's consistently the best possible way to get infected with COVID. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Kevin doesn't clip anything this week. I guess maybe I'd love to have both of you back.
We'll give Kevin the highlights: cream of wheat porn and scuba porn.
Cream of wheat corn, scuba porn.
And we're just gonna because you don't like what it was, we're just gonna call it breakfast porn.
Oh, and
There you go.
oh God.
And Kevin needs to find that clip so he can see the dancing Wonder Bread because we didn't really touch on that.
No. He's searching for no porn. Well, actually, I don't care because he's not using the iMac that's in the corner of the studio.
He ain't clipping anything. He's watching porn right now.
I bet you he's like, oh, and speaking of you, porn masturbates feverishly.
I don't know how I feel about this because that would suggest that he's listening to this show. And
Gators, if you are on some public medium, somebody has accidentally masturbated while listening to you. Just get over it. Who cares?
who are these? You see, this is why I don't like people.
This is Next time somebody calls in, that's first question. We're going to no more is the 12 questions. Just
Right.
one.
Right. Call screening is basically going to be like, are you feverishly masturbating right now? Okay, if the
Are
answer
you
is
now,
no,
or have you ever? I think that's it.
no,
Are
I
you now,
don't
or
care
have
if
you
they've ever
during the
done
show?
it. Like,
No, during the show. During the show.
during the show. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But even if you had, I don't want to know about it. I just want to be sure that you're not doing it right now.
Oh, well, hands in the air. I'm not. So it's all good.
Gators, now you just look
I
like
don't see
fucking.
your hands though,
You
Vamp.
look like, yes, I'm running the goddamn show, Gators. You just look like Beavis with his hair, like as Cornholio with like the shirt over the head. By the way, Beavis and Butthead is coming back.
I heard that. I wonder how much of a train wreck that's going to be.
It's gonna be.
It'll be terrible.
It's gonna be exactly the same train wreck that people had before. Like, I mean, whatever like.
No, that sounds like you're doing some kind of generational thing, which means different train wreck. I mean, I think we agree it's going to be a train wreck. I just don't think it's going to be the same old train wreck.
Whatever the market will bear, Gators. I like.
Well, it wouldn't have Hank Hill anymore, would it?
Why wouldn't it? I mean, they're all Mike Judge.
Well, he wasn't Hank Hill. He was Anderson. He was quite
Gators.
different
It
from
was
Hank.
fucking
Hank,
created by.
Hank.
Oh my God.
I mean, the same voice, but Anderson was not.
Propane and propane accessories. He said
Propane
that.
and propane accessories. If I catch you boys
Yeah,
a whacking in my
propane
tool
regularly.
shed, I'm gonna hog tie you. Anyway, right.
You could teach him how to play poker.
Yes. All right. Well, Dune is clearly washing his hands. Also a good thing to do during COVID.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do that for 30 seconds. And FYI, Her Majesty by the Beatles is just about 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. And
Actually, a coffee pot, but who's counting? Okay.
and Gators, if you do, you know what? I'm going to start saying, okay, Boomer, whenever you make a musical reference that is completely and totally outside, that is anachronistic of your generation.
We're talking about the Beatles. I think people of many generations have heard of them. They were kind of popular. They were kind of a big deal. They sold a lot of records.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like we've already crossed the threshold where CPR people cannot use the term "you do the CPR" to staying alive from the Bee Gees anymore, because people go, "What?"
Well, but so here's the funny thing. Just about every rap track, I can tell you as former internet celebrity DJ, just about every hip hop track these days is right at around 100 BPM. If you're counting it correctly, it's almost exactly the same. But I've got a bone to pick with Gators, who thinks I'm just going to let that Beatles shit fly. Gators, Her Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, Her Majesty was on Abbey Road, correct?
Correct.
Okay, this is a rhetorical question. What year was Abbey Road released?
An album such as Abbey Road
Answer
is
my
timeless.
goddamn question, Gators.
Well, it was released in 1969.
Thank you. Were you alive in 1969?
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay, Boomer, shut the fuck up. That's what it means. Okay. Well, that was entertaining.
All right, you cats take care.
Gators is
I'm gonna-
pissed.
Man, someone's being a mean Mr. Mustard.
What the fuck does that mean?
No, it's 7:00 and I got pizza coming.
Yeah, it's all good. I got to run too. Thank you very
All right,
much.
guys.
Thank you
Take care.
both.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God.
All right.
All right. Later, guys.
All right. So long, Boomer.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Boomer. Bye. Well, we learned a few things this week on ADHD Radio. Gators really can't he really doesn't like dishing out what he or eating what he dishes, I guess is the right way to say that. Man, that was a fun show. All right. So yeah, that'll do it for ADHD Radio. This show is recorded live each and every Tuesday between 4 and 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So do the math. We are 7, I believe, hours off of GMT. If you don't know where Mountain Time is, it's the one between Texas and California. That'll do it. This week, I don't even know how to summarize this show. Like, I'm not I'm not even sure where to start. So I guess you got to watch all 2 hours. Till next week, I'm out. Later.